I decided to join Voiceflow's Voice AI competition and win the $1,000 prize.
USD.
USD?
USD, that's quite a lot of money!
It took me a week to build a complete HR voice agent that would screen the CV of the applicant or the ones who passed the screening to do a phone interview and score them to an ideal candidate in the background. And I've joined forces with my friend Champion here to show that we can build a voice AI agent in less than a week. Did I succeed?
Now it's time to announce the winner. Okay, so the winner of our competition.
Watch to the end of the video to find out.
Right, so we already know what we're doing, right? You know how when you apply for jobs, you submit your CV, you submit your form and everything, right? And then after like a week or two, like a human will call you up and be like, hey, I saw you made this application. I just want to check a few things with you. Yeah, so basically you get like logistics screening, right? How much time do recruiters screen CV? For 6 to 7 seconds. If there's like 1,000 people, that's like 7,000 seconds.
It's 2 hours of non-stop.
Spend on phone calling. Phone screen with consults, which is 15 to 30 minutes. If you have 500 candidates, that saves you 1,500 minutes, which if you divide by 60, it's 250 hours. Bro, this is... Are we overkilling this?
And actually like screen for better like candidates, right?
After spending hours of actually checking the conversational flow, creating the perfect prompt, and actually brainstorming on the solutions of the problem, we finally figure out the way.
You basically have 5 questions. Like the first question is probably like something to do with legal compliance stuff. Second question is going to be like experience, work related. So like I saw that. So basically you have basically a question template here, and then you insert like a dynamic variable, which is going to be like based on the entity that you capture. Basically, let's say like you work at, I don't know, Altana for quant analyst for intern for 2 years, and then you basically just say like, okay, based on the variable work experience, we know that you've worked at this for how long. Can you tell me a little bit what you did in there, like some of the projects that you did, and how those skills can be transferred to the role that we do here, right? That's an example. And you repeat the same thing for education, which is like, let's say you did computer science. Okay, what exactly did you learn, and how could that be applied to your role? Same thing. Question 4 is like more general questions, like why do you want to join us? And then question 5 is going to be like what challenges or something like what challenges or obstacle, like general question like you face, right? And then basically from there, from these 5 questions, each of those will have a model answer, essentially. And we basically have inside the KB again, you basically will have one like job spec, obviously, and basically we have some qualities or indicators that we can manually add in that we think will make the ideal candidate, right? So we basically make an ideal candidate profile, which is the ICP, and then you basically compare the ICP against everyone else, and basically use like AI to basically output a similarity score, like how similar the candidates are to the ICP in terms of the skill set needed or experience needed or qualities needed to succeed at the job. And basically you basically give a similarity score, and you basically do this for each question. And overall, you basically have a weighted average. So you got an overall score like for each candidate, and obviously for each question, like after you give out the score, you need the reasoning behind it as well, right? And all of that data will be saved in Narrative, so like people can actually review it. And the advantage of this is that you can rank the candidates, and you can also review why like the model thinks that this person is better than the other person, right? But to actually pass this, because most people will pass the phone screening round, right? Obviously. So we make that the candidate will pass as long as it like for each of these questions, you basically have a threshold, like a very low threshold. As long as you get above the threshold of that score, then you basically pass. And once you pass, you basically do like a API call to like a schedule an interview with him or something like that, and you will go from there. It's basically one big automation work, basically.
Right, 10 out of 10 speech, bro. I really enjoyed the lecture.
All right, let me rub this now.
And it all led us to this moment.
Now it's time to announce the winner. And the winner of our competition is going to win something pretty cool, right, Daniel?
Bro, if I can't sleep, if I actually have no sleep, I still need to get this done because we need to win.
Huge congratulations to Edwin Chen. You're the winner of our $1,000 voice competition. so incredibly well deserved as well. One other thing that really stood out to me is like he hadn't just thought about the technical side, he thought about like the business use case and like how this is actually valuable. Like in his pitch, he did such a detailed like breakdown of like it's gonna save this much time, and time is money, and we like money. And Edwin is the winner of $1,000, so he has even more money. So Edwin, welcome on stage.
Edwin, congratulations on winning the $1,000 and the Voice AI competition. Jacqueline, myself, Nico, Kim, Connor, we were all blown away by what you created. So would love to tell us a bit about yourself. What kind of inspired this project? Give us a bit of a background on it.
Yeah, for sure. So my name is Edwin, and I just started actually started my own like AI agency, like literally in December last year. And I really got into like AI automation because I also have a background in studying like machine learning and like data science kind of things, but I really want to get into like building these conversational agents. So that's where I get started with like, I get to know Voiceflow, and then I just play around with it, and just like, it's really cool. It's like it's amazing how what you can build with like in like such a short amount of time, and it really impresses me. So I just like invest a lot into this tool. I actually discussed like the template in depth with one of my friends, like just to break it down, like what's going on behind the scene and like the entire logic behind this. We actually record ourselves actually discussing over this during like a Zoom meeting or something.
And could you share a bit more about like the build process? So which part was the hardest part? I know we had to cut out some stuff in the demo, so maybe you can give like a quick overview too of the kind of ideal candidate stuff that's happening behind the scenes, because that for me was like, I was like, wow, this is like a really good application of the knowledge base in Voiceflow.
Yeah, so I think the hardest part, I would say, is first of all the architecture design. We actually go through like quite a few revisions on like, okay, what should be the most like optimistic like ideal like architecture, because I don't want to overcomplicate it. But at the same time, like we were thinking like, okay, how can we go from just a CV to like a booking of an interview, right? Like where there's a yes or no from the AI screen caller. So what can you benchmark against? That's the hardest part, I would say.
So what comes next? Tell us about a bit like, what are your next steps in the AI agency? I think too, for everyone watching this, how can they help you, or like, what, give us, do a little plug. Would love to hear what comes next for you.
Yeah, for sure. So we literally just started like in December, and we probably start working in January. And so we are quite a new agency. We're kind of still discovering our own niche and what like specific service that we want. We have a couple of projects, like we've done a couple of projects, and we have got some projects coming up at the moment, but we're kind of like a general agency, right? So like we basically I've started doing the YouTube channel, posting different builds and stuff, and then some people just kind of outreach to me and be like, hey, this is really cool, but can you build something similar to this for me as well? And then I was like, yeah, definitely, for sure. So we've done some a lot of this is conversational AI agents. So some of them is like an Instagram like customer chatbot, using Voiceflow as well, like for some sort of like media production company, because they seems to need that like help with like booking and also FAQ. But also I've also done some projects on like WhatsApp agents, that's going to be coming up soon. And that's something that I really want to like invest a lot of time into, and that's something I want to develop. So it's one thing that for me personally and for my agencies, what we want to develop further as we grow is more on the it's more on the social media conversational agents. I think especially WhatsApp is something that we really lock our eyes into. Yeah.
Awesome, cool. Well, Evan, thank you so much for explaining this all. Again, congratulations. So we'll be in touch with more details. I definitely recommend, I know there's a lot of chats and comments about people wanting to connect. So I'm excited for you, and we'll keep in touch.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Edwin. Have a great one.
And that is how I've won Voiceflow $1,000 Voice AI competition. If you enjoyed this content, remember to like, subscribe, and comment what specific builds you want to see next. And until next time, see ya.